Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about ANJI Kills a King by Evan Leikam. ANJI Kills a King is an adventure fantasy novel set in the immediate wake of an assassination, as you might have guessed from the title there. Headstrong Angie is working as a laundress in the castle, comes upon an opportunity to kill the wicked king, and goes on the run. And this, is a problem, not because killing kings is necessarily bad, but more because it's a little more complicated. There are a little bit more going on. There's a little bit more going on in terms of pieces in play. And for Angie, specifically, you're still the guy who did it. You're still the person who did it. And that does have a chance for consequences. And so she has fled the palace and is being pursued by a band of mercenaries in service to the king and to this fundamentalist religious organization, the Sun Wardens, who worship this genderless, evil, well, not evil, but very controlling, very rigid, rule-bound sort of solar deity. And so the bulk of the novel is a road adventure. Angie is taken in by one of these mercenaries, the Hawk, and is being dragged by hook and by crook back to face punishment for her crimes, and so that the Hawk here can collect the 1,000,000 Rhoda bounty that has been put on the king's assassin. And so we have this wonderful, we love a journey, a road novel. The travel just provides incident after incident and opportunities for the characters to get to know each other. It's a real character study in the interactions between these two, and a way that they grow to understand each other better as they travel down this long and winding road, and have adventures along the way. It's really it's a classic sort of setup there, just going down the road, and a classic is a classic for a reason. I really do love a good road novel there. And I really enjoyed, as the novel went along, the ways in which we expand on the motivations for the assassination, we expand on the complications that ensue, and we look at, in this particular case, the aftermath of the event. This is not like, the assassination of Shinzo Abe, where things just sort of went, all right, ticky-boo, on we go. Probably dodged a darker right-wing path on that one. There's a little more chaos. There's a little more opportunity for negative social forces to gain a foothold as a result of this, which sets us up for continuing volumes in the series. Very fun and exciting there. And really great, very fun characters. And so, of course, we had to have a drink. And our drink today is the Rhoda, named for the coins used in the bounty for Angie. We're going to start with 2 ounces of bourbon. I'm using the Agitator bourbon today, which feels really appropriate for Angie. She's hot-headed. She's an agitator in just about every possible sense. She's really just in it, impulsive, combative, argumentative, curious, questioning, on this real journey of growth and understanding and getting things done. She's getting things done. And then we'll get 1/2 ounce of apricot liqueur. It was funny, I was reading the book and thinking, I wonder if this is an apricot book. Something about it just feels like apricot to me. And then, not like 3 chapters later, Anji had a recollection of being served an apricot cake by her now deceased parents. And I was like, I knew it! I knew you were an apricot person! And what luck, because it is one of my favorite flavors to play with. We're going to get half an ounce of that apricot liqueur into our mixing glass. Get half an ounce of apple cider vinegar. Got this brightness, this sting, this sort of prickliness that you can really get, from vinegar in this sort of fruity way that's different from, fresh citrus juice. It's a little bit darker, a little bit richer, and we're going to get half an ounce of that apple cider vinegar down into our mixing glass. Now we'll get a bar spoon of molasses syrup. It's just a little bit of molasses cut with a little bit of water. We don't want to use too much because, much like ginger, molasses is one of those flavors that can really dominate a cocktail. And so we just want a little bit to bring that darkness, to bring that depth, to bring that bit of bittersweetness, and not overwhelm the bright flavors of our vinegar, of our apricot, that real fruitiness, or that sippin' whiskey, that bourbon. And finally, we're going to get 2 droppers full of smoky bitters in here. Just that bit of grit, that bit of road wariness. Let's give it 3, because I like a little bit more of that smoke. With bitters, always easy to add more, always hard to add less. So start with 2. If you want it a little smokier, go for 3. And I'm using the Pooter Smoke and Salt bitters from Crude Bitters down in North Carolina. Real favorite bitters company of mine. Now we've got all the ingredients for our Rhoda in our mixing glass. We'll add our ice last. Travel through dangerous, icy passes through the mountains and give it a nice stir. Lovely. You will want to stir until our ice and our liquid are at roughly an equilibrium here. Fantastic. Yeah. Nice and supple. This gets a little bit of that vinegar sting while still being stirred and supple. We're not shaking this up as we often do when there are bright sour ingredients like citrus. We'll get our julep strainer and strain into a stemmed cocktail glass. Nice golden. Perfect. And garnish with a coin of dried apricot. And there you have it. This is the Rhoda inspired by Anji Kills a King by Evan Leikam. Anji Kills a King is available now. It's available today. A huge thank you to the publisher Tor Books for sending me an advance copy so that I could celebrate this book on its release day. I've got a link to snag it in the description down below, as well as a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 cocktails and mocktails inspired by the wonderful world of video games. Lots of road novels, lots of road stories, journeys there as well. I've got links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. We've got some great books coming to round out our May and head into the heat of summer. I'm really excited to be sharing them with all of you. Check out Anji Kills the King, and until next time, cheers.